Hi, love. So we're going to do a reading on what went wrong and why it didn't work out between you and that person. So it could be why it didn't work out between you and your ex or baby daddy or F-buddy or that one connection you wanted it to work out but it just didn't work out. We're going to get into my what went wrong oracle deck. See what comes through. This is timeless. All right, so you can go back and watch it whenever you're guided to. It can resonate whenever you're guided to see this reading. All right, and if you feel like it will resonate with someone that you know, a friend, a relative, send it to them. All right, so first card is begging you to stay. Begging them or begging you to stay. So somebody here was always like either, if you were always having to beg the other person to not leave you, that's an issue. Especially if they were always begging you to stay. So take it as it resonates. So roles can be reversed. Sorry, my little hair over here. You should never beg anybody to stay. You should never beg the other person. You should never let them beg you. It's not healthy, okay? Number one, if somebody wants to go, let them go. Do not beg them. Look, card fell on the floor. It fell on the floor. They have me doing yoga. Okay. So, card number two, bad timing. You guys got together in bad timing. It says it wasn't a good time to engage in this connection. For some of you, that's what went wrong. It's like you were in a bad time in your life. They were in a bad time in their life, and it wasn't working out. It couldn't happen. So it was very unfortunate. Something about that right there feels like there will probably be a better time. I'm talking about like maybe 2-3 years later on. All right, let's see what else. No effort to go out and do anything. Especially if you're dealing with either a Capricorn, a Gemini, an Aries, a Sagittarius, Pisces, Scorpio. If you have no effort to do anything in your life and you're not ambitious and you're not adventurous, somebody's gonna get bored and they're gonna be like, I don't want to date no couch potato. I don't want to date no broccoli. You know, some people like the introverted. You know, it's like it's hard sometimes if you're an introvert and they're an extrovert or whatever. It could be difficult. Sometimes it's good because it balances you out. It teaches you how to calm the fuck down, especially if you're extrovert. But if there's just you want to go out and do things and they don't, and you're ambitious and motivated and you got goals and they don't, they're always like, oh, don't go, don't leave me again, you know, especially if you have a career. They could be begging you not to go because they're going to miss you too much. It's like it's not going to work out. So that could have been another situation. Okay, so let's get another message. What's the next one? They or you were too sensitive. Somebody here was too sensitive. Either they saw you as too sensitive, always crying, always upset. They were always like, what's wrong? What can I do to make it better? It's like that gets tiring and exhausting after a while. Like fucking, it's draining. It could be very draining. So if they drained you because they were like that, ugh, I get it. But if you were like that, you could have drained the other person. Okay, maybe they were a good person, but you were just too fucking emotional, too draining, too much. Of course they were gonna send Papi out the door, right? So let's see what else. You could have intimidated them. You intimidated them or they intimidated you. Take it as it resonates. They didn't see a point in staying. You acted like you didn't need/want them. Especially if somebody here was very independent. Okay, let's say, for example, you're a female and you're very highly independent. You got your own money. You got your own things. You didn't ask for any of that. You didn't earn everything you have because of anybody. They could have seen you as like, well, she don't need me. You know, she got everything she wants. She can buy herself flowers. She could take herself out on dates, you know. And maybe they felt like powerless in a way. Maybe they felt like, well, you seem to be having it going on, like, you know, maybe they had a problem with it. Sometimes your power, your independence could intimidate the other person. Now the roles could also be reversed too, you know. And, you know, somebody could have acted too good or acted like, you know what, I'll date you, but I don't need you. And maybe that other person was looking for something for the longevity, and somebody here could have acted like they weren't needed because you had, you know, you provided it all for yourself. That could have been an issue for them, an intimidated energy for them. Then another card that we have here says acting like a bitch, cold-hearted, and rude. So that could have been an issue. Maybe one person acted stuck up, too good, always having an attitude, always being, you know, bitchy, bossy, whatever. And that could be a turn off. That could have been like having the other person run for the damn hills, you know? So there was no balance in somebody's attitude. There was no chill. So that was a turn off. And somebody's like, this ain't gonna work out, bye. Then another card we have is putting on a happy front for friends and family, but yet behind closed doors, you didn't get along. There was no happiness. It just wasn't it. So you can only do that for so long until it gets exhausting and tiring and draining, until somebody is like, you know what, I cannot act anymore. I can't do this shit no more. And then, yeah, that ended. So let's get another one here. You had to do most of the work in bed. So in other words, the other person was somebody was acting like a pillow queen. Some people like that shit. Others are like, boring, boring, boring. Maybe you were just laying there like, so you're not gonna put no character into it. You're not gonna flip me upside or choke me a little. You know what I'm saying? So you felt like maybe you had to do all the work, or they felt like they had to do all the work, and that you weren't willing to have some fun or open yourself up in the bedroom. That could have been an issue to either you or the other person. Whoa. If it ain't good in the bedroom, they got to go. Don't get me wrong, it's not always about what's going on in the bedroom, but it's important. All right, so let's see here. You made it clear they couldn't F with you. You see that? That could be linked up to a few cards, actually. That could be linked up to acting like a bee and cold-hearted. It could be linked up to you intimidated them because you have your own thing going on and you have this I don't need you attitude and you can't F with me and this and that, right? Like, maybe it was just too much. There was no balance. Somebody here was too, like, either acting too masculine with no balance of femininity, and that could have been a turnoff to somebody. Maybe the other person, maybe you made it clear like they couldn't F with you, like play games with you, F with you. Like, maybe it was to an extreme though, because like even if they joked around, you're like, I'm not playing. There's no sense of humor in that. So they're like, damn, you can't even take a fucking joke. So they dipped. Again, roles could be reversed. Next, we have someone else is making them or you happy. So let's say, for example, if you're in a connection and there's no effort, no one's putting in the effort, it's boring, someone's bitchy, someone's too much, overthinking, whatever. Eventually, what's going to end it is somebody else is going to make them happy. Someone else is going to fill the void. Somebody else is going to make them feel good and alive and do things that the other person don't want to do. And so therefore, it's like, you know what? I can't tolerate this connection anymore. I'm happy this way. I'm going to go this way now. So thank you. Bye-bye. Right? There could be a lot of reasons why. But those are just some of the cards that came through, some of the topics that came through. So if it resonated, it did. If it didn't, it did not. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you later. Bye.